YouTube, what a D-I-N-U. Is your boy, Angel of I is, main provider of helpful tips. I know it's been a while. Since my last video, I know I haven't posted much of anything, but man, you gotta live this life. This life is something else out there. 2020. How many things have everybody been through? Yeah, that I mean. Alright, relationships. Oh my God. How have those been? You seen celebrity breakups, and then I'm sure you got breakups in your own day too. What do we got going on? We got this election coming up, and all you hear is vote, 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 vote. And look how they treating the black men in that. Get your boot head to the voting booth. Newsflash: more black people are voting for Trump, particularly black males. You know why? Because one, we don't trust Biden. Two, we don't trust Kamala Harris. Do we have to trust Trump? Hell no. But at least he's honest. At least he's like legit with his position and stances on things. So why we gotta sit there and deal with people who are being fake and phony, and opposed to dealing with somebody that's really upfront and actually telling us what it is, like right there up front. This is the world we live in. I mean, if we have to go astrologically with it, there's still restrictions. So there's still Saturn that's still in Capricorn right now. It's about at its later degrees. By December, early January, it should be floating its happy ass into Capricorn, with Jupiter following, to which they'll conjunct. Jupiter moves faster. It takes about a year for Jupiter to get out of a sign, while Capricorn takes 3 years to get out of a sign. So the past 3 years has just been a restructuring of society and the collective as a whole. In your personal life, obviously, there's just been a restructuring in general. Especially if you broke up with people, you're eliminating friends, you're eliminating certain issues, there's just elimination all around, especially because Pluto is also in Capricorn until about 2025, 24, somewhere within that range. If it doesn't retrograde back in for that last little taste. So, there's just been a gauntlet in that section, a stellium, if you may. So there's been a lot of heavy energy. That's why there's been a lot of depression, a lot of pressure, a lot of just crazy ways of making you feel right now. You don't know which way to go, because there's a lot of we're in the age of information, so there's a lot of information flying back and forth, and especially if you're on here on YouTube, you definitely know that you can type in one thing and come up with 100 pages on the same topic. So, if you made it here, that means you're meant to hear this. So, this has been definitely a crazy time. Again, let's go back to the election or selection, because let's be real, these people are selected. It's no different than watching NFL football. Okay, it's no different than watching that MLB. It's no different than watching the NBA. LeBron wasn't even supposed to win his another championship according to the stars, but according to the need, he did. Because Kobe died. If you didn't think that the Lakers weren't going to win a championship this year, you're out of your effing mind. All right? Because of the simple fact that he was a big figure. And of course, on the 17th year, which equals 8, what was Kobe's jersey number? 8. Of LeBron James, 17th year of LeBron James, comes to the Lakers, has the folly on his 16th year, which would be numerology 7. So it's just knowledge, is knowing, okay, this is the downfall. It's no different than watching the Cowboys right now. Don't be surprised if next year they wind up in the NFC Championship game. At least one of the teams out of the NFL or NFC least. One of those teams will be in the championship next year. It's just a guarantee because once you see a fall, there has to be a rise. I know it's cliche, but in this essence, they're obviously tanking for Lawrence. Yeah, like a new quarterback. Sorry, Dak, but he's probably gonna be on a different team next year. If he does wind up on the Cowboys, he will lead them to the ball and he will get the fattest check possible because if they do tag him one more time, that's the immediate sign right there. Main thing, the Dallas Star. The stars. Okay? So it's all in the stars. Follow the stars. So I don't think that, things are within play. The Pope was announced today. Shout out to my man in the Gematria. The Pope announced today, the first black priest out of Chicago that is going into like the Catholic priesthood and whatnot. That's what just happened. During the presidential debate, what did we have? We had the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Biden is a Catholic from the Philadelphian church, and Trump is a Catholic from New York. Do you see the battles? Do you see the spiritual play at play right now? Okay? So these are the battles. These are the spiritual wars that are happening in front of our face. Why do you think like each play today, if you really watch that game, not just to watch it out of entertainment, I'm talking about Sunday night's game, Seattle versus the Cardinals, it wasn't that it was just like a very intense entertaining game, but it also has to deal with just the premise of 7. They were both at 34-34. That's 7-7. It dropped down all the way to a 4th and 3 play. 4 and 3 equals 7. With there being only 34 seconds left. 7. So 7-7-7. So if you understand numerology, 7 is angel-like, while the 6 is demonic-like, correct? Because they make you seem that 666. But really, demonic being or entities are really just an intelligence. It's a mindset. Don't get me wrong, there is like those style of spirits that do walk around if you conjure them, yes, but nonetheless, there's an intellectual spirit when you see those particular types of numbers that hop into your head, and then they drive you crazy because subconsciously you're picking up on the messages that they're sending you, and then you act those out later. That's the whole thing about the deception that we live in today. And of course, because of all the things that are happening today, we allow these distractions to really distract our minds due to the fact that, like, chances are you're on lockdown, so you're home and bored, and you don't question the things that are really happening around you outside of maybe going to a protest just so you can get out your house. You're there. Like, this is the times that we're living in. This is all a beta test. Come 2021, you're going to see the real thing in full-fledged. Just like I was saying on my Snapchat, if you follow me, which is DZSD on Snapchat, they had, I was preaching upon, like, outside of demonic intelligence, I was preaching about how specific events, how they trigger the mind to keep you in a zone that's has you thinking that you're weird, because it's a very big divisional time. So you see certain things and you deny it because it's not a part of the norm. This is how this matrix works, or this simulation, or however. But at the end of the day, and I forgot to do this, I like to give all praises to the Most High. I am not an atheist or any of that. If you are and you're watching this, that's on you. But I do believe in the Most High, and I do believe that, like, when it gives you a sign for something, you got to watch out for it. And just like I was preaching back when about the virus and all this stuff that's coming on out, these are all distractions. These are all things to throw you out your mind. Because while all this stuff is going on, you have politics in the background. And now we lead to the election or the C-election. Will Trump win again? That's a lot of people's mindset. A lot of people are going to vote for him because business-wise, he's helped a lot of people. Rather you want to see it or not. This is why he told you in the beginning to get you a LLC. You own a business right now outside of a small one. You making paper. Well, let me rephrase that. Even if you own a small business, you still making paper because there's certain loopholes that like make it very lenient. And then with the PPEs and all the rest of that, if you're doing it legitimate, you're making a good amount of money because he's pumping money into your business to help feed your employees with the lack of stuff that's happening today. So, these are the types of things that we are getting outside from and going into 2021. And what I was trying to get to with my Snapchat was when I was talking about how the year 2000 happened, because once 1999 hit, everybody was in fear of a computer shutdown and lights not working and and none of that really happened, at least depending on where you lived. Maybe in some places it did, but where I lived, nothing happened until the next year when 9/11 happened in 2001. So think about it. It takes 20 years for an agenda to really take its play. Okay, so we're at that 20-year mark. That means Agenda 21, 201, or 2021 is the next flight next. So what happens? I don't know. You tell me. The main thing that you want to do is be recession proof, regardless of who's in office, regardless of how things pan out. The main thing that you need to be focused on is on yourself and your family, your immediate family. What you need to do is get them jokers that are around you that are holding you down out of your face. You need to get that out of your life right now, because if you holding on to them, when things hit, you're going to depend on people that ain't even, you're going to depend on people that are depending on you. And that's the thing that you don't want moving into 2021. Because whatever they got planned, you're going to need a solid team. Cat Williams said in 2009, get your team together. Well, now is that time for that team to get together, which is kind of hard because everybody's divided because they all scared of a virus and all that stuff. So it's keeping you away from family, friends, and so forth, even though you still go to a bar and eat and drink without a mask, don't you? Yeah, okay. So these are those times. Once Saturn moves completely into Capricorn, from my astrology perspective of how I understand Saturn, it being a discipline sign and so forth, then that just means it's going to be more disciplinary on the people. The last 3 years was for the people to get their ish together and really get self-sustaining businesses and attributes going. Now they stunted that with this pandemic, however you want to call it. They stunted all that because you would think a lot of people are in decline. No, especially if you're a melanated person, your businesses are rising. Go again, hop on YouTube. If you want to go to OnlyFans or any of those style of sites, platforms are open. Entrepreneur is going up. People are finding new ways to make money and not hang out or hang on to the teat of the government till they shut all that shit down, which was probably going to be really soon here, because once they really start cracking on OnlyFans, a lot of those people are going to be mad. But it is what it is. That's when that happens. I have nothing to do with that. I'm just telling you, once it moves into the land of the people, Saturn, moves into Aquarius, there will be definitely a heavy restriction on people, other people's children, because that's what Aquarius represents. So, think of Bob Marley. He was an Aquarius. What did he deal with? Other people's children. Buffalo Soldier. Huey P. Newton, Aquarius, who did he deal with? Other people's children, correct? His melanated people that was around him. It's God's children, not his, so that's other people's children. You know, God speaks through people in miraculous ways, and he definitely breaks you down and builds you up in ways to talk to people in miraculous ways. So, you know, this is kind of that jogging point, because we only got less than 2 months, and then the year is in 2021, and look at everything that just happened in 2020. Think 2021 is gonna be a cakewalk? Oh my God, you gotta think about it. Come next year, because they did so much to shallow out the, how do I say this, shallow out pretty much the problems of this year. All it's going to do is carry into next year. So what do they have? Home crisis and stuff. I work for an apartment complex. I've never seen the fluctuation of people moving in and out in an apartment. And before I moved into a house, like living in an apartment, most people stay there 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40 years and shit. People are moving in and moving out literally by the next month. Like, so if things like that are happening, then that would mean that once these government care things start to run out, you know what's going to happen, an influx of homelessness. So that means you're going to have an influx of civil unrest, because you're going to have a lot of people out on the streets. You're going to have a lot of collaboration in homes. You're going to have a lot of females and males just pretty much hanging on the coattails of a lot of people. Like, this is going to be a very discerning time, especially because it's going to be dark. There's not a lot of light. The light was given to you from 2017 to the tip early of 2020. Now we're in the clear vision. Now we're in, like, you know, if you ain't ready to see what's already in front of you, then you ain't ready. But it's going to happen regardless whether you're ready or not. That's the key point to the whole thing. So my message here is just to have you prepare, be prepped. It's not a doomsday threat. The world's not going to fall apart tomorrow, because it's already happening today. So your best bet is to be able to control what it is that you can control while you are in the midst of this. You are to be pandemic proof. So do all of what you can in order to do that. Okay, get your canned foods, get your stuff, get your water, start growing things, you know, start linking with like-minded people. I mean, hell, you have those folks in Atlanta. 19 families bought a bunch of land and they building their own town, and only one way in, one way out. And if you ain't a part of them, you ain't getting in there. So it's that type of initiation that's about to be going on. Because there's only going to be so few that will be able to maneuver through this. You're going to see an influx of polygyny starting to come about, you know, sister wives and all those types of things. That's why they've been prepping you with that on A&E, right? Or with TLC, whatever the hell channel they have that bullshit on. Like, that's why they have you prepping for that. Because they're letting you know, yeah, man, you might be sharing one nigga. That might be your future. Because there's going to be a lot of deaths. A lot. You think a civil war isn't on the... Come on now. Wars break out every year. They've kept us so docile from fighting each other. Even though you go to Chicago, people are fighting each other every day. You go to Baltimore, people are dying every day. New York is about to be like the new Gotham. Why do you think during the presidential debate, Trump was saying, my New York has gone to shit? Well, it has, because people are out there. Dude, the murder rate and the crime rate is just skyrocketed since you want to defund the police. Yeah, there's a few bad apples, but they're locking up the other apples in the big apple. So, here's what it is. And it goes for your local city, too. Even for them white folks that are preaching for it, they're the ones protecting your suburbs. You want to defund that? Even though that's not going to happen. Let's get real. It's going to be the most protected places than ever. But certain areas and hoods, you ain't even going to have police show up for anything. And it's not like they respond fast anyways. Now imagine waiting 2 days for a police response as opposed to, 2 hours. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like these are the times that we're really going into. Is really like the battle or the survival of the fittest. That's really about to be coming up here real soon, man. Real talks. So normally I would do cards and all that stuff, but I really didn't want to do that right now. I'll get on the cards and stuff later. I'll get up with my boy Lamar and we're going to have a deeper discussion later and stuff. But, there's a lot to be discussed, and I want to start getting back on here and really talking to people. I'll probably put, as I go forward, I'll do the cash apps and stuff. But really, I'm not worried about the money just because, I'd rather give information out for free. Because if you know this knowledge and you're able to give it to the people, then just give it to them. Like, what is a dollar going to do for me? In the coming years, a dollar ain't going to mean shit, especially when the American dollar collapses. And that's what everybody else is waiting for. Why do you think Bitcoin is starting to merge with PayPal here? That's a whole nother conversation. I'm not even going to get into that. But nonetheless, this is where we're rolling. And the tools that are going to be needed as we're rolling is going to be very exponential. So, again, get your team. Get ready. Get ready, my nigga. Don't stop. Yeah, man. Look at my videos, man. I got that song in there. That was our first track, 2006. KMS, baby. Anyway, it's your boy, Angel of I Am. Just wanted to shoot a video, a little 20-minute video of yapping. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. If not, hey, whatever. Regardless, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that other stuff that they say. And until next time, peace. Oh yes, please forgive me. Giving all praises to the Most High, because without us, there's no it, and without it, there's no us. So quit disrespecting them, man, because he's giving you knowledge through people. You just gotta have the proper discernment to know the knowledge is being spit to you. You dig? Dixon DZ Alvarez on Facebook if you want to follow me on that. DZSD on Snapchat if you want to follow me on that. Straight off the THA Vine 425. That's my Instagram. I don't really post much on that, but if you want to follow me, just follow. Anyways, you see the comment button on the bottom. Hit it up if you want to say something to me. Until then, peace.